An investigation is now underway after 2 men were shot and killed by Tulsa police over the weekend in 2 separate incidents.
Authorities say both suspects were armed with knives. 2 Works for You's Giselle Puente live from the Tulsa Police Department's headquarters in downtown Tulsa with the latest information for us. Giselle.
Mike, Karen, the officers involved in the deadly shootings have been placed on administrative leave while the Tulsa Police Department looks at dash cam video and body cam footage of the incidents. They will determine whether the use of deadly force was justified.
The question is going to be raised, did the officers have the opportunity to use a less lethal form of force other than a firearm?
After a deadly weekend in Tulsa, Andrew J. Scott says it's hard to know if the police use of force was reasonable until all evidence is reviewed. But there is a federal guideline all law enforcement agencies across the U.S. must follow.
The Graham v. Connor United States Supreme Court case defined what objectively reasonable force is that the police can use, and it's based upon a 3-step process.
The former police chief and now expert consultant on police practices says the severity of the crime is taken into account and whether the officer was in danger to bodily harm or death, and if the individual was resisting arrest or attempting to run away. On Saturday's case, police say the suspect was harming himself with a knife and didn't stop after officers used pepper balls. Instead, the man approached officers with a knife. That is when police opened fire, killing 25-year-old Jonathan Randall.
This could be something referred to as a suicide by cop, which means the individual, mentally unstable, forces the police to use deadly force to fulfill their desire to be killed.
Police are also investigating Sunday's shooting where 42-year-old Earl Barton Jr. allegedly threatened officers with a knife, at which point police shot him. Both incidents involving weapons by the individual.
With regards to both issues of where a knife was displayed, the question's going to ask, how far away was the individual from the officers? Was the individual approaching and attacking the officers?
According to the Tulsa Police Department use of force standard, officers may apply force when they perceive that it is necessary to defend themselves or someone else from imminent danger. So when we take a look at a third incident that occurred at a Minute Mart where a homeless man with mental health issues was arrested for hitting an officer, we ask the question, why wasn't use of force used then?
You're going to get punched. The officer can use a similar type of strike or use what we call an impact weapon. So that's why deadly force in that instance would definitely not be appropriate.
According to the latest data published by the Tulsa Police Department, there were a total of 272 incidents in which police use of force was documented back in 2018. 3 of those cases resulted in deadly force. Reporting in downtown Tulsa, I'm Giselle Puente, 2 Works for You.